Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me.
Unfortunately for Mizkif, all of this evidence that I'm seeing is just adding further weight to Emiru's claims. The kind of person that says stuff like this obviously is going to be bothered about Emiru getting more viewership.
I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California.
Story of the day. Wow. So obviously the big news today, and probably for the next week, allegations that have dropped about Mizkif. We are so back. It's never been more over for the Twitch aristocracy. This is like a hand grenade has been planted in the middle of all these fucking giga streamers, and it has blown up, and everyone is picking shrapnel from their face as we speak. So obviously we got a lot to get through with this story. We're going to have to look at Emiru's statement, and then we're going to have to see what Mizkif has got to say in response. I don't know how long I'm streaming for today, but we'll at least do that and we'll see where we are. And I am off Wednesday for definite this week. Maybe I can stream Thursday. I, obviously want to make sure we're on top of this. So guys, I will say, as we like to say, watch your ears, guys, because a man's life hangs in the balance as we get into this giga rape review. Let's get into it. Okay, guys. So this was touted by the Twitch. Well, Asmongold alluded to this, and obviously Emiru said that she was going to come back with some nukes, essentially. And this is the product of that. So Emiru has come out with an over hour-long video documenting allegations and claims in regards to Mizkif. So let's see what's going on, guys. Let's see what's happening. And unfortunately, the pro OTK sweepers over at LSF have not been able to keep this under the rug. It is blowing the fuck up. So let's get into it and see what's happening here. I'm ready.
So, I mean, you guys can probably tell, but today is not going to be a normal stream. Not going to, watch videos or play games or anything today. I kind of just have a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about, and then I'm probably just gonna.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Go offline after.
How do I make money off depressed people?
Quick crap aside, this woman is nearly 30.
But yeah, it's
Thank you for the super chat.
You guys know, I've been streaming for 10 years. Last week was kind of the first time that I ever really spoke about a topic or something that happened to me. And honestly, I'm really glad that I did, and I'm proud that I did. And I feel like I have to see it to its conclusion, if that makes sense. Not just for myself, but in a way, I kind of feel like a lot of people are involved, because it doesn't just affect me. So that's why, sorry about my voice. I'm very, very nervous in case you can't tell. But I knew that this stream had to be done today, so yeah, pretty much, yeah, so
I mean, you probably edit this out, no? Come on. People just want to get to the brass tacks here. Did Mizkif rape, yes or no?
Yes, might as well get started. Not, stall too much or anything. I know there's a lot of people here who don't normally watch, and if you're wondering, yes, I do normally run 20-minute intros. And yes, my community at least claims that they like it. I think that they like it. I like playing songs for you guys, but anyway, yeah, anyway. We don't like it? Okay, well, whatever. Anyway, I'm probably gonna stop reading chat now as well, but you guys are free to say whatever you want, obviously. So, yeah, like I said before, it's been a pretty crazy week, and a lot of things have happened since the last time that I streamed in relation to what I talked about last week, the whole TwitchCon incident. Some other things happened that kind of pushed me to talk about a lot of things that I want to talk about today. So as you can see, I wrote out my notes, and not only that, I have even more notes. So yeah, if it seems like I'm like reading a script or something, it's because I wrote super detailed notes because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Oh yeah, dude.
So yeah.
There was some stuff with the Twitch stuff, wasn't there? Didn't Dan Clancy put out a statement via the Twitch Twitter account? Or something along those lines, no? What did old Dan Clancy have to say for himself, eh? Let's have a little look at this quickly. Obviously more PR shit, I'm sure. First, I want to be upfront and take accountability for the security incident that occurred during Emiru's meet and greet. It shouldn't have happened, and we take that very seriously. We failed, both in allowing it to occur and in our response following. We mismanaged our communication about the incident, and that includes the comments I made. I apologise to Emiru for all that took place. What are we doing moving forward? For meet and greets, we've begun a complete analysis of the incident that took place, as well as other issues that came to our attention after TwitchCon concluded. We're examining everything from when we do sign-ups to the layout to increase security controls. We're also doing a comprehensive review of overall event safety and security, and we'll be making updates for future TwitchCons. While we won't be sharing all security updates for privacy and safety reasons, we will keep our community informed about changes that directly impact attendees. We've heard concerns about IRL streaming at TwitchCon. Twitch has evolved over the years, and IRL streaming is a part of Twitch, but we need to ensure that TwitchCon meets the needs of a variety of participants. We'll be reviewing how we handle IRL streaming at TwitchCon, and we'll have more to share soon. Finally, we got clear feedback on accessibility across the event. More wheelchair ramps. We're reviewing with our teams, including our production and venue staff, so that we're better equipped for future events. You put a lot of trust in us by attending TwitchCon, and we take our responsibility to keep you safe seriously. We know that TwitchCon means a lot to a lot of people, and it means a lot to us. Be on the lookout for more updates, and thanks for being part of Twitch. So, I mean, yeah, pretty boilerplate PR stuff, really. I don't think there's much to say about it. It's just, you know, lock in the stable door after the horse is bolted type stuff. But anyway, that was Dan Clancy's further comment on the TwitchCon incident.
Okay. So, I think everyone knows about last week, the stuff that happened at TwitchCon.
Welcome to Chud Nation.
I was
Okay,
Thank
assaulted,
you for the prime sub.
and the guy was able to
We'll do better next
leave the
time
venue,
to
basically.
get more women groped on stage.
okay,
Thank
so
you for
like
the super
intro
chats.
first thing that I want to talk about is
Okay, that's wonderful.
I
But how do
did
make
see the
money
Twitch
off
tweet
depressed
that
people?
I believe
Disregarded moron is boring and watches this absolute slop.
I mean, dude, I don't know. This is like typical PG-13 Twitch fare, isn't it? But thank you for the super
went out
chat.
yesterday. I was literally in a Discord call with my friends, and they were like, "Did you see that Twitch apologized to you?" And I was like, "Wait, what?" So yeah, basically what I'm trying to say is they put out that tweet. I was never apologized to privately. They put that out without like consulting me or anything. I didn't know that
Okay,
they were gonna
that's
do that,
wonderful.
so that was
But how do I make money
yeah.
off depressed people?
Yes, more
I mean, I'm glad that, you know, they're trying to like take
Thank
some
you,
level of accountability,
paraplegic
but there's a lot of
rapists.
things that they didn't mention in the tweet that I feel like should have been mentioned. But anyway, more stuff's been happening behind the scenes. So I want to say that last week, everything I said on my stream was accurate, obviously, except for one thing. I was wrong about one thing. I was going over the tweet that Twitch initially put out, where they're like, "Oh yeah, this thing happened to a high-profile creator. You know, police were on site. We're cooperating with law enforcement investigations." What I was wrong about was they were not cooperating with law enforcement investigations. I found that out on Monday when I got a phone call from the San Diego police, and they were talking to me, and they basically said, "Hey, we can't really do anything right now because they apparently know the name of the guy, but they're not giving it to us until a warrant goes through." Which, if you know anything about that stuff, it usually takes a while. Even you know, if it's expedited, which it was being expedited for me, but it still takes a lot of time. And they're like, yeah, they're refusing to give us the name, which as far as I'm aware is like a very common company thing where they'll be, you know, they don't want.
So, okay, the thing is, there's not an issue with that, obviously. You need a warrant in order to provoke a company to go through a process to release information. They can't just randomly release information without going through the correct process. But obviously Twitch should have been more upfront and clear about that. You know, people are obviously going to interpret you to talk about working with law enforcement as it being further down the line than it truly is. So they probably should have just made it clear that, you know, awaiting certain processes, we will obviously be working with law enforcement. I don't fucking know how he'd word it. So I think that, yeah, the communication on that was poor. But obviously there's nothing wrong with waiting for a warrant to come through before you release private information. And you probably have to wait, I would imagine, because you can't just go randomly releasing the names of people without having the correct process in place to facilitate that, right?
Want to give out names of potential people involved in crimes because then, like, that person could maybe, like, sue them for giving their name to police. I don't know, something like that. That's what my lawyer said.
Yeah.
But basically,
that's reasonable.
they were, Twitch was trying to make sure that the guy that assaulted me didn't sue them, which meant that the police were not able to work on the case right away. So, yeah, I got a call about that on, I believe it was Monday, from the San Diego police. They were like, yeah, we're working on the warrant, but, like, right now, that's, like, all we can really do, but, like, we're trying our best. Just, like, want to let you know, we're gonna keep in the loop and everything. I was like, okay. I was very frustrated because I was like, damn, like, I didn't know that on Saturday. I would have said that if I knew. And then, I believe it was the next day, there was someone who, I don't know if they were a viewer or if they were just someone who, like, knew of the situation from social media. They contacted my manager, and they basically told her that at their place of work, someone came into their work who matched the description of the guy, and this person was saying, like, oh, I'm, you know, traveling to Texas, and I caused, like, quite a stir at a TwitchCon, and this person, like, you know, reached out to my manager, reached out to police, San Diego police interviewed them. But basically what I'm trying to say is because all this stuff was delayed, this guy was able to get really far away from San Diego, allegedly, and this whole time my manager was, like, basically, like, begging Twitch, like, dude, like, please give us his name, like, we don't know who this person is. Like, for all we know, he, like, lives around where Emmy and her roommates live. Like, I can't, like, help her if, like, I don't know who this person is, and they were refusing to do it.
Okay, that's wonderful.
But,
how do I
after
make
that
money
tip
off
from the
depressed
person...
people?
The real question is,
Whoa!
what was Emmy wearing when my
Holy
kids
shit.
beat Emmy to a pulp? Don't worry though, they got to trauma bond and watched Pokemon Season 1. Smile, cheers bro. Here's a big one for all the good times and
That
the
is
year
insane.
plus of amazing content.
Thank you for the $200 super chat. That's crazy. Thank you very much. That's super generous. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Thank you. And I do have to disavow your message, though, because no matter what a woman is wearing, it does not justify the violence against them. But thank you very much for the $200 super chat. Very much appreciate that. Thank you. But yeah, dude, I mean, these things do take time, unfortunately. And I think there might have been grounds, if the police were there, to potentially arrest the person on the grounds of TwitchCon. But obviously, after it's happened and they've gone, there's not really much the police can do if the police aren't there in the moment to arrest them, right? Because they then need to go through the process of investigating, building a case, etc. And there's warrant issue as well. So unfortunately, it's just mired in this kind of like procedural red tape, essentially. So, I mean, it sucks. It sucks that you clearly are bothered by the fact this guy is fucking off to Texas or whatever, but I don't really know how you get around that without impeding processes that are there to protect civil rights at the end of the day.
Person who said that the guy came into their workplace and was talking to him. My manager demanded the info from Twitch, so they did end up giving it to police, but not my manager, as far as I know.
Well, the problem is, I doubt there's any criminal charges yet, because they probably haven't even assessed what the charge would be, right? Like, unless you're arresting someone on the spot, it tends to be that it gets kicked back to, like, detectives, and they would then investigate, communicate with the DA, figure out what the charges are, and then they'd arrange an arrest on that basis. Intent to hug. I mean, it's like battery, right? I mean, to me, that's like battery or something like that. I don't know why people are acting like, dude, you people are so deranged. It was just a hug. It was just a hug. There are some forms of physical contact that are a crime, even if in other circumstances it might be okay.
Still doesn't... Yeah, so, the investigation's still going on, but it's, like, been a huge mess because of all of the delays and, like, refusal to work with the police. And yeah, it's ongoing. I can't, like, say too much about it. Like, all this that I'm saying, obviously, I, like, ran by my lawyer and stuff. And I do want you guys to know that Melissa has been making sure that, you know, me and my roommates, who are obviously other pretty well-known girl streamers, that we have been safe here, paying for like security stuff, making sure we're protected. Again, my manager's been taking care of that all her own. Twitch did not offer anything like that. Yeah, that's where it is right now, pretty much. I can't say like too much about what, you know, me and my lawyer are doing, but my hope is really that there's some kind of like public resolutions that people who like.
Well, I mean, the problem is in America, it's if you commit a crime in one state and you go to another state, unless it's a very egregious, a federal crime or a very egregious crime, I think it could be quite tricky to get them back. No, there's not much motivation because you can what do you call it? Extradite people state to state. I'm pretty sure. But is that something that's going to be pursued in a case like this?
Okay, that's wonderful.
Like,
but how do I make money
I don't know if that will
off
be.
depressed people?
Like the table batteried your face. Yes, thank you for the $2. Thank you.
Have seen this and like know about everything that's happened can feel better about it. Because like I said, I don't feel like it's just about me. Like it could have been anyone that it happened to, like a small streamer who's not as lucky to have the resources or like, you know, the reach that I have. So it's very scary and yeah, just very, very frustrating.
Dude, I've seen a lot of coverage already, but I'm excited to see the woman haters in this chat's opinions. Me too, to be honest. I'm sure we're gonna get some great takes today.
Trading. And
Okay,
yeah, I don't know where that's gonna go.
But how do I make
I'm sure
money
that,
off
you know,
depressed
they're
people?
probably,
Police department
I would
is going to
speculate,
be
not very happy.
tried to kiss you and he left to Texas. Lol, okay, rip GG. I think the best she could do is get a restraining order.
Thank you for the $5.
with me for talking about all this, but I feel like it's not fair to keep it hidden from all the people who literally had to witness it because of Twitter and Reddit and all these things. I mean, I'm not complaining about that, obviously. You guys know I was super grateful that the guy posted it, got, you know, spread around so that I didn't have to figure out how to talk about it myself. But yeah, I'm just it's a lot. It's been really heavy this week, but obviously I've been getting a lot of support from my friends and other streamers, and obviously my manager, the people that I work with, my employees and such. But yeah, I don't want to just let this be a thing that I think that they're hoping it just blows over and gets like swept under the rug. I'm not gonna, you know, go live every stream and complain about it like, oh, you know, I got done dirty. I'm not gonna do that, but I'm gonna try to the best of my ability, keep you guys updated until there's like some kind of resolution, you know, so. Yeah, pretty heavy, intense stuff. Yeah, it's been, sorry, I'm just looping myself now.
Okay.
But yeah, I would hate
Every
if,
time
like,
she does stuff like that, I'm like, whatever. I'm happy to just listen and comment on the actual meat and potatoes, but I'm just like, ooh. My misogynistic chat is going to dislike that,
Okay,
that's
that's
for sure.
wonderful.
They're not going to like
But how do
that.
I
They're
make
not going to like
money
that,
off
dude.
depressed
A
people?
pause,
Okay, that's
a
wonderful.
break in your
How do I make
comments.
money
Every
off
time he
depressed
abused
people?
me, I had to buy a
haters?
Kirby. Emiru
Okay.
is about as close to a woman as Finster.
Oh, thank you for 333. And thank you for the super chat. Guys, listen, okay? She's just, look, at the end of the day, her tone is obviously not to your fucking style, okay? Let's just try and listen to what she's got to say here.
this kind of just went away and people were like, oh, what happened? You know, I don't know. You know, am I gonna go to TwitchCon next year and, you know,
Skip
like
1
if something
minute.
happens to
No,
me,
we're
it's gonna.
Guys, we don't need to skip this. I mean, this is fine. We'll you know, we're
You know,
going to get
we're
the
gonna
we're
try
going to
to
get the
hide
meat
it,
and potatoes
basically.
here. We're going to get the most out of this.
Yeah.
We're not skipping anything.
So there's that. Give me a second. I have some more stuff I want to talk about, but I'm trying to not rush myself because I'm trying my best to, like, you know, stay composed to the best of my ability, so that I can get to the information across accurately. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thank you for, you know, support and stuff. Like, honestly, it's been shocking to me because I don't know. I guess, like, whenever things happen, I always just kind of expect the bare minimum outcome, if that makes sense. So yeah, I've just been very, very thankful. Very thankful and very grateful, and I hope that, you know, whatever comes out of this makes other people feel better. But regardless, like I said, I'm done with going to TwitchCon. Probably done entirely with convention streams. I feel like it's just time, you know. And I think that's probably true for a lot of streamers. The climate has, you know, really changed. I've been on Twitch for 10 years, like, you know, I keep fucking repeating myself recently. And yeah, it's changed a lot, gone pretty big. And I think that's just, you know, the reality that you have to accept. But, you know, maybe it's not a bad thing, because, you know, you can go back to rotting playing games in your room. It's not so bad, right? Retirement? No.
Okay, that's
not
wonderful.
Retirement.
But how do I make
Definitely
money off
because
depressed people?
I'm the
So
kind of
if you were
person,
this
I'll never
regarded,
give
you
up.
wouldn't have a single viewer.
Thank you for the super chats. It's true.
You're not gonna make me give up. So, yeah. Oh.
Come on, stop
Unfortunately,
delaying.
I'm not done yet.
But how do I make money
Come
off
on.
depressed people?
I used
just,
to work with
just give me a bit.
S-Fam in Dallas.
Come on.
The guy was a total ass that no one liked, and PPA talked shit about the first day I was there. The fact he was her beacon of morality shows how cooked Twitch aristocracy is.
Thank you for the 333. Thank you. Listen, guys, I'm going to go on a limb to my disgusting misogynistic chat and defend a woman, okay? It probably is quite fucking daunting to
Okay, that's wonderful.
This is
But
going to
how
be
do
a
I make
tinderbox of
money
drama that you're
off
lighting.
depressed people?
This
So I do get
woman's
it.
job is
I
to
do get it.
gaslight lonely men into believing she cares and values them. I'm having a hard time sympathizing with her. Plus Asians don't have souls.
Thank you. I disavow, but thank you nonetheless. She didn't need to do this. Well, I'll see what the allegations are before I pass judgment. But I mean, someone's always got a right to speak about their experience, you know? But we'll see. We'll see what the allegations are. I don't actually know all of them.
Was
yet.
worried you're gonna quit? No. And I don't think I'm gonna go to any other platforms because, I mean, first of all, where would I go? And second of all, I really think that, you know, this is something that was just, I mean, this is just me, you know, being optimistic, but I feel like it was just
Dude, there's like there's a all-out war in chat between the wokes and the anti-wokes, the woman lovers and the woman haters. The people with the people with a
that's
certain kind of
wonderful.
fever
But how
and
do I
those
make
without.
money
I won't
off
say any more
depressed
though.
people?
Where's the grape? Where's the grape?
Well, I don't know,
Next
dude.
emoji.
I don't know. I don't know if there is or not. There's a claim of it or something, but
case of like, you know, we didn't realize that these things could happen, and we obviously don't want them to happen, and like, you know, things will be better. And I mean, I'm not gonna leave you guys because of, you know, something that someone else did. I mean, yeah, there's like other places that, you know, I upload content, but Twitch is like really my home. That's why through all of this, I feel like most people, you know, they
guys,
I
I don't know why you're asking me to skip. This is the easiest content fucking going watching all of this. We're not skipping anything, okay? Holy fuck, you guys have got ADHD.
tweet, but like it was probably like 10% of what I needed to say. A lot of people make a YouTube video. That's why I've chosen to do all of this live and like raw, because
Raw and
it's
real.
just what I'm most
Raw
comfortable
dogging
with
it.
and what I've always
Raw
done.
dogging it.
So,
Oh, that's a bad choice of words. That's
yeah.
not.
Oh, sorry, my like
Ugh.
emotional voice is so ugly. Yeah.
Yeah, just rush this content and get back to
I
the
don't know,
cold,
it's just
Chud.
crazy. I just never thought things like this would happen, or I'd ever be doing a stream like this. Just feels very strange.
Dude,
It's
it
just
is
very,
honestly crazy to me that we've been moaning about the fact there's no fucking drama happening. And a drama's happened, and you're desperate to rush through it. I mean, what is wrong with you, dude? You guys are deranged. Now, just rush this, dude. Rush past this all. Okay? Biggest drama that's happened in fucking months. And get back to fucking farming shitter nobodies.
out of my element. I've never really, like, for the most part, commented on drama or, like, self-inserted in situations, but I guess in this situation I'm kind of, like, stuck in the middle of it against my will. So it's like, if I don't do it, who else is gonna do it?
Okay,
It's gonna take a second. Sorry, I've said that like 4 times, but
okay, this is it now. She's getting into it now, I'm sure.
it's a lot. I hate drama streams. Me too, man. Bro, like, I could have come home. I could have worked on beating Cinna and Clint's fucking Mega Bonk scores. Now look what I have to do. So fucking annoying. I had to cancel my plans. Which reminds me, I don't think there's gonna be a Halloween stream this year. I don't think that's realistic with kind of the vibes of things right now. But I mean, is anyone gonna be mad at me if I do like, you know, like a Halloween in November thing? Or I mean, there's always next year, right? I mean, yeah, I mean, things happen outside of your control. So, yeah. It's just crazy, but
Dada, come on, get to it!
thank you guys for listening to me talk and complain. Okay.
I bet Mizkif's response is to the point, isn't it? I bet Mizkif just fucking plows into his fucking response, doesn't he? Like he plowed into Emiru, apparently.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
Non-consensually, allegedly.
So,
I think. I don't know what that is yet.
the next thing.
Here we go.
At the end of my last stream,
Oh!
I said that when I got home, I would be talking about some other things that I really, really did not want to talk about. But
Come on, let's
I feel
go!
like those things, developing independently of their own from the TwitchCon incident, have gone to a point where I kind of feel like I have no choice. So...
Oh, she's got the document.
I've
The
already
Mizkif
seen
career
a lot
rape
of people
document.
speculating about what I'm going to be talking about, and some people have been right, but even for the people who were right, they were only like 5 to 10% right.
Stop laughing.
I
Bro,
don't think-
listen, I'm sure there's plenty of people out there. Oh, no, you're fucking around. I'm sure there's plenty of people out there doing po-face coverage that are like, oh, God, so terrible, blah, blah, blah. Listen, if I think something's bad, I'll say it's bad. But I'm not going to sit here and fucking pretend, you know, like I'm not me. Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, the way she's doing this, you can see why people find it irritating.
But how do
I get
make
it, right?
money off depressed people?
Grape, grape, grape indeed. Thank you for the super chat. I do understand. I do understand why people find the tone and style of this delivery very, you know, irritating and annoying. You know, I get it. It's totally understandable why people have got this kind of like negative reaction. But obviously then people are dishonest and they characterize that negative reaction as necessarily being dismissive of the claims that she's making. But you can simultaneously take issue with the delivery whilst also, if you think the claims are valid, thinking the claims are valid. You know?
Dat ching ching kitty be crazy.
Oh my
for
God.
men.
Dude. Not this again, dude. Not this again. Not these fucking super chats again. Thank you for the $5.
I think I've seen a single person online who knew or understood the severity of what I want to talk about today.
It's severe. What have you done,
And
Mizkif?
I want everyone to be aware that
Mizzy Wizzy,
I've
no!
been handling the situation very seriously, and I've spent a lot of time thinking this over. And not only that, I've been in contact with a lawyer. I had them review everything that I'm planning to say today, because I wanted to make sure that if I was going to do this, I was going to do it right.
Mizkif. I've been monitoring some chats. They're calling you Rape Kif. You thought it was bad. In the Adriana Lee drama. They're calling you Rape Kif, bro. They're calling you Rape Kif.
Because it's so serious. And, I feel like it's going to change things forever. And,
Yep, that's probably true.
so...
Here we go. Come on. Launch the nuke.
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about
That's wonderful.
and telling
But
everyone.
how do I make money off depressed people?
It's insane that it was Miss who did it and not
Sorry, I swear I'm not trying to like make
Thank
this
you for the
dramatic or
super
something.
chat. Thank you.
Like I said, I really wish I were not
That's
feeling like I had to
wonderful.
do this.
But how do I make money off depressed
Just give me some
people?
time.
Thank you for the $2. That's gross.
I'm gonna be doing a lot of I guess you could say like fourth wall breaking in a way, and talking about things that I thought would always be personal, and just, you know, I would just carry them myself. Today, I'm finally gonna be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment,
Oh!
sexual assault, and
Oh!
threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me and some of these issues which are still
Okay, that's
ongoing.
wonderful.
Let's
For the entirety of this
go!
year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue, and just not make it a public thing. I have never,
Holy
I've always
fuck,
tried my
bro.
best to keep this to
Okay,
myself,
that's wonderful.
but
how do I make
like I said, I
money
feel like it's
off
gone to the
depressed
point,
people?
which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now? And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today.
Rape Kif is
That's
done, not just on
just on a
Twitch.
whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading
go!
off my notes.
Kicks, let's go! Come on!
The first and probably
Let's
most
fucking have
severe
it.
reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago
Thank you for
about
super chat.
withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for
Okay,
said
that's wonderful.
incident,
But how do
that
I
he had
make
done something
money
similar to
off
something that he had done
depressed
to me.
I hello to Kitty until she piker pooked.
Thank you, Miss Gift, for the 333. Okay, so yeah, oh god, it's difficult without knowing the ins and outs of it for real, and it's just her word. Yeah, what other reason
Okay,
could there
that's
be
wonderful. But
for
how do
her
I make
saying this now?
money
I guess
off depressed
that's
people?
pretty
It
believable
takes
to me.
2 to tango. She needs to say exactly what he's doing to that girl, and you can't have 6 rabbits die fast prematurely without some sort of neglect. She is probably as guilty as he
Okay,
is.
listen, I don't even know about the rabbits yet. We'll get to the rabbits. We'll get to the rabbits. Okay. Could be spite. Could be spite driven. Okay, maybe. I'm considering all possibilities. I know very little about this so far. I've seen a few clips. But her position is that she's decided to come out about it now, despite it happening a while ago, is because there's another woman that's potentially at risk.
And someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything. I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet.
Jealous of Rape Kif's new squeeze. Bro, the Rape Kif goes so hard, man. That is a banger.
And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I'd say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because obviously Ludwig recently came out, and I believe I don't know if I watched that part of it. I watched some of the Ludwig shit, but I think he apologized to Mizkif for making a video validating the claims in regards to Adriana Lee at the time. So maybe there's like public discourse around Mizkif that has also influenced her decision to come forward, because there seems to be this dynamic currently where, yeah, it's giving this kind of grace to Mizkif for having made videos covering the drama at the time. So,
Okay,
yeah.
that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Feel wronged by Twitch equals do damage to Twitch women.
Thank you. I don't think this is
Okay,
about
that's
damaging
wonderful.
Twitch, is
But how
it?
do I make money off depressed
Necessarily?
people?
At Spaced Station became a member. At Spaced Station celebrates 7 months of membership. Chud, having seen it and Mizkif, Emo open a little notepad for like a list / to compare both videos are long and would benefit from mastery.
Okay, that's
Fucking hell,
wonderful.
dude. That sounds like
But
a lot of
how do I
effort,
make
bro.
money off depressed people?
Writing
Oh,
shit
my
down.
tiddling along, I want her chow mein.
There's my notepad right there, bro. There's my notepad right there. Thank you for the membership. Thank you for the super chat. I disavow.
I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what
Okay,
happened to
that's
me or what has
wonderful.
happened to other
But how
people
do I
because of
make
him to happen to
money
other
off
people.
depressed people?
And I don't
Maya
believe he will
loves
ever stop
animals
behaving
so
the way he
much
does.
She got Grubby Kif to avenge
But
those
regardless,
Thank
rabbits.
you for the super
yeah,
chat.
like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them.
I do think Mizkif has got this. I can imagine Mizkif doing something along those lines. Obviously, without evidence, maybe there's evidence we're going to be presented with, which we can consider. But already I'm like, okay, I could see Mizkif doing something like that. He does seem like someone who wants to pull strings behind the scenes to benefit his own situation in drama.
And saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
Okay, spoiler alert, but doesn't Mizkif do exactly that in his response? So, dude, I need to see the evidence of the rabbit deaths, okay? And find out more about that. But without knowing more about it, either this is true and Mizkif is now executing his plan to smear Emiru, or alternatively, she is getting ahead of murdering her own rabbits. It's one of the two, basically. So it could be, again, obviously, people are going to be inclined to just side with Emiru on this. So people are naturally going to be like, oh yeah, well look, Mizkif is clearly doing that now. Where it could be that she's trying to get ahead of killing those fucking rabbits. And I don't know yet. I need to see more about this rabbit situation before I can determine that part of it.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay.
You see how successful this would be, though, as a tactic, right? You've, through neglect, allegedly killed a bunch of rabbits, and then you know that's going to potentially get brought up. So in the course of making the allegations, you say, well, he's going to say that in order to smear me. It's like ingenious, and obviously PG-13 poggers viewers are not going to question that, and they're just going to go, well, that's obviously what's happening. But we'll see, we'll see. It could go either way for me. I don't know yet about this rabbit thing. But I can definitely see Mizkif trying to pull strings behind the scenes. I can imagine that being the case.
So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream, I have a few more.
And also, that's another good point as well, right? Look at what's just happened with Colligate, right? Like, that to me could be an easy attempt for Mizkif to play into the Colligate memes and make some sort of allegation about animal abuse because of what happened with Hassan, hoping that it's going to somehow benefit, you know, your side in the discourse cycle over this.
Things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this.
Good point from chat. Well done, chat.
The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can. And, hold on. Also,
What's this?
going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
Ooh,
I have more things, but
let's
this is what I felt
go.
comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did. And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things, and in fact, most of them didn't, and some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But, yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you know, you knew and this, no, a lot of people, you know, didn't know everything or didn't know anything.
Guys, you're setting it up, relax. We'll get to it,
Okay.
don't worry.
I think that's, all that I have to get out of the way to start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said.
Oh, God. Come on, Emiru! Chat are desperate here about the rapes. Come on.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money
This is
off depressed people?
all public.
Okay,
Obviously,
so
this
no
part.
joke, but in Ms. response about the rabbits, he made it sound more like she just sucked at taking care of rabbits. He just shows rabbit poo.
Okay. We will assess the claims fairly as always. But thank you very much.
I moved in with him. I believe it was the end of 2021. Because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas. And I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it. We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022. After I joined OTK. I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at
this
this
is
point.
like one of those terribly kept secrets. I think many people knew, or that follow the OTK space, many people were aware that this was the case, like viewers, I mean. And there was obviously that pathetic sweep attempt where there were, I believe, messages posted between Emiru and Mizkif that made it clear that there was some sort of dynamic there. And that got swept off of fucking LSF. They got rid of that. They deleted that post, even though it was totally fair game to have a post about, because it was off the back of things accidentally being leaked on a stream, you know? If only Atriarch had been so fucking lucky, eh?
It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but let's just, you know, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about.
Wonderful. But how
It's
do I
not a
make
secret.
money
I think
off
everyone who
depressed
paid
people?
attention knew
Does
that he was
Shelburne know she
very
used
controlling
Silver?
over what I wore, to a degree, who
Yeah,
I was
Shelburne
friends with,
there.
and
Leave
even
the
when I would
super chat.
stream. So, when
Okay.
it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's, yeah, I just, at the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off. And looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
Oh, Mizkif's receding hairline. Thank you for the praise on Twitch. Oh, dear. I mean, yeah, obviously, you know, we'll see what the kind of evidence and stuff is. Obviously, you know, you shouldn't throw bottles at people, particularly if they didn't like it. Was it a playful thing that got out of hand? Was it something more abusive than that? Phone thing sounds pretty, like, why would you chuck a phone at someone? Are we talking about, like, chucking a phone to give them the phone or something in a slight anger, heavy anger, throwing it across the room? So it's difficult to really know what to make of this without having more insight into what exactly that looks like, you know? But obviously on the face of it, throwing bottles and a phone at someone sounds like abusive behavior. But it's just tricky to come to any firm conclusions because I just don't know what the story is with that, you know? And yeah, I was going to ask about that. So apparently she's got a black eye too. And that was something that was on stream and people saw, I'm guessing. Can we have a look at the black eye? Does anyone have a clip of that somewhere? Link it in the Discord, maybe?
That was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6.
What kind of adult throws anything around? That seems insane, no? Yeah, sounds insane, certainly. It sounds insane. But that sort of behavior does sound insane. It's just, I would be willing to think, well, what's the other side of that story?
Okay, that's wonderful.
And what does
But
that
how
look
do I
like?
make
Are we talking
money
about like,
off depressed people?
like that? Or chucking like that, underhanded to catch it? Do you know what I mean? I just don't know enough about the nature of that to know conclusively what to think about it. And the trouble is with some of this stuff is you could easily get baited into just accepting the worst possible version of events and believing that's the case. And I think it's just about having a level of skepticism until we get more information. That's all, you know? Like, obviously, you could sit here and just go like, oh, yeah, this is all definitive abuse, etc., conclusively. But we're literally only half an hour in. So we'll look at everything and see what we think. Free Mizzy definitely threw shit at her. Well, we'll also see what his side of it is too, but yeah.
6 months of me and him being close, and then, again, a very public situation. The end of 2022,
How do I make money
the
off depressed people?
cover-up
Captain
allegations
Danthi
happened.
Fireman became a member.
I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public.
Fireman celebrates 2 months of membership. The phone was fine, the bottle was fine, but once he started throwing stars, it was a bit on the nose.
Thank you for the membership, thank you.
You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but...
Wait! Someone's just linked this! What the fuck? What the fuck? I'm not laughing at domestic violence. It's just funny that this is how you've chosen to impart this information to me. An extreme close-up of her eyes. Comes across a bit racist, you know what I'm saying? I believe that's Emiru's black eye there, I think. Dude, it's so funny. Anyway, let's have a little look here. Oh, hang on. Oh, wait, there's a reason for... Oh, it's because... Oh, they alt-tabbed and it came up. And she covered it up with makeup. I see. Okay, got it. But this... Dude, someone's managed to find this. Dude, the level of autism is insane. How the fuck did you find... Who found this, bro? Like, literally, like, what the fuck, dude? So that's why it's that. I get it now. I understand. So she didn't appear on stream with a black eye. She either covered it up or didn't stream. And this is the only evidence we've got of the black eye. Is a single frame that's been snapped of her alt-tabbing, and then you can zoom in and see it there. That's very funny. And then apparently there's chat messages here. I got a black eye a week or two ago, and it's finally almost gone. Modern then, I guess. Okay. Oh, it's... bottom to top, is it? Oh, well, anyway, we get the gist. We get the gist. We get the gist here.
But the bad behavior was ramping up.
Oh, it's a good Rose stream explaining it.
I feel like it's so apparent. If like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him and I wanted him to,
wonderful.
you know,
But
get
how do I
better
make
and get back on his
money
feet
off
and
depressed people?
be the person that,
Thank
you
you
know,
for the
I always
super
believed
chat.
that he was. But that, unfortunately, did not really happen. For a long time, I think about 1.5 years from when that all happened, it was kind of like
Okay, that's wonderful.
slow,
But how do I make money?
slow things
off
getting worse.
depressed
But
people?
I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna
$2.
bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse. There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped. So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff. So for a long time, after the like cover-up allegations happened and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like we really avoided it. And to me at the time it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. But yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of like things like events or sponsors or like, you know, just special things for a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was because of him. And now I stream whenever I want. But the first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck's that to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public, there are clips of this. We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out, you know, we're gonna have fun.
React
like,
harder.
I was
There's nobody
really, really
reacting yet.
excited. And then I start seeing in my chat, people start saying, unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Okay,
and then I check my
wonderful.
Discord messages,
But
and
how
he's
do I
messaging
make
me.
Money off depressed
He's saying
people?
like, Emmy,
Thank you for the super chat.
you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I waited, or I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc.
Huh?
And basically he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him.
No
and
way,
like I said, this is during an
dude.
event, so there were drops. Like everyone knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real. But yeah, he starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should.
Dude, people are saying no evidence of this. Bro, Mizkif is super, like, insecure and stuff. You really think this is that fucking insane? Do you think this is true? I mean, I'm not saying just accept everything without any fucking evidence, of course. But to me, this seems to be something that is fairly believable for me. No?
Come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended his stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the
that's
by the way,
wonderful.
so
But how do I make money?
there were many
off
ways
depressed
out
people?
of that
She
house
needs to start
if he wanted to
playing
leave the
some
house
defense.
that were closer to his stream
Thank you,
room.
Mr. Ray.
He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up, so even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening. And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day. But anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him. I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like, is this like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong. And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know,
This is Chud's
checking
queen.
my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell.
I mean, I'm seeing a lot of what I hope are ironic comments. But this is totally, like, deranged behavior to spurg out over viewership like this, right? I mean, let's look at the clips and see. We have some supplementary clips here. Let's have a look. So we've got this one here.
How about we vote?
What does unofficial Miz raid mean?
What do you mean?
All in
have no
favor
speaking
for
here.
execution?
Guys.
Oh, he did?
Listen, why are we all acting like we haven't murdered Like we haven't pillaged. Like we haven't had to do what we
Wait, was that the slam? Was that the slam there?
Oh, he
Guys.
did?
Listen, why are we all acting like we haven't murdered? Like we haven't pillaged? Like we haven't
That's the
had to
slam.
do what we had to do
Sleeping?
to make it here where we all are right now. It's not about what we've done in the
Tweet, which
past
one?
that could unite us. It is what we can do together now that we're together.
Back of the head. So what
Right?
he did to you,
This is exactly why we choose trial by combat.
Well,
Well, my queen already killed
you
him for
deserve-
revenge.
This is
so-
something
Then
you
so
enjoy,
be
Myth,
it.
and you can clear your name.
No, my queen already killed him.
Then so be it. Who am I fighting? Where's my blade?
Mary.
Fighting Mary?
yeah.
Wait.
Oh, there's an LSF clip edited together. Well, yeah, I mean, link that rather than the thing if you got it, and I'll throw it up. In the meantime, what is this you've linked me? We'll just kind of throw in whatever you're throwing my way to kind of get it in there. Supplementary evidence. An old video has resurfaced showing Mizkif getting angry and throwing objects at his ex Maya, Higa, who discussed it on a podcast.
No, I'm not talking to him today.
Well, nobody asked you to, so.
I'm not doing anything.
Okay.
Look at her
Oh, let me
face.
say I've got a
She's
point.
so uninterested.
She said no.
Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past 2 days.
Whoa!
Oh my god!
Skip, that was
Throw
not
it back.
funny.
Throw it
Yeah,
back.
there better be.
Whoa! This on a stream as well. Yeah, Mizkif is fucking. I mean, you know. The unfortunate reality is that this just lends weight to the idea that he did at least some of the stuff that's being discussed here. The throwing stuff. I mean, that throw makes me think, yeah, the water bottle and the mobile were probably aggressive and vicious rather than like, you know, an underhanded throw or playful or something like that, you know? That's mental.
Oh my god, I would beat
Okay,
the
that's
shit out of
wonderful.
him.
But how do I make money
We're live.
off
What
depressed
There you
people?
go, the super chat.
We're live, she says.
Yeah, also, like, that is insane that they're just, I mean, I guess they don't know what to say in the moment, but all of these people have gone on to defend Mizkif after this, no? This is like some rotten shit, isn't it? Surely they would have spoken to Maya about what happened, and surely she would have said that, oh, dude, this is, what?
Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry, aggro
Okay,
man
that's
that is like
wonderful.
the absolute
But
most
how do I
helpless
make
thing, dude.
money
I used
off
to.
depressed people?
Every single time it is 2 emotionally stunted adults in a codependent toxic relationship, but the guy is a douchebag no one likes, so the girl gets away with everything. Wow.
Thank you for the $10.
I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like we would fight in the car, which
And
was
that's not
never my
Mizkif,
decision. Like
is
it just
it?
always like happened. Like we just would like fight in the car, and then he'd go like 100.
Dude, that throw wasn't too bad. Yeah, because they were paper bags. But if it was not a paper bag, that would have fucking hurt to get hit by that. He's chucking paper bags in anger. Like, dude, this is such a stupid fucking take, bro. The reason it wasn't bad is because they're paper. But it shows the behavior. It shows the behavior and the mentality that you're angrily throwing something at someone.
And I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry, and then he would not slow down until I apologized.
Whoa.
And so then I started driving only. Like I wouldn't let him drive me anywhere. But then if we'd get in a fight while I was driving,
Okay, that's wonderful.
he would like
But how do I make
pound my
money
ceiling and like
off
glove
depressed
box.
people?
He would
Why
like
does
scream
he
and like
launch
hit the
everything
ceiling and like
across
hit the
the
glove
room
box
like
and
a
just like
cartoon?
scream.
Thank you for
like,
the super
profanity.
chat.
And scream like he would like just call me terrible things while he was doing it. And then I'd pull over and be like, get out of my car, and he'd be like, no. And then I was like, well, okay. Because what am I gonna do?
Yeah, what are you
What am I gonna do?
Okay, what is this? Oh, shit. Oh, that looked like it would have hurt. I mean, that did look more playful to start with. But that drop was pretty fucking rough. Jesus. The thing that I'm just like, so what, he just got swept for? Is that what we're saying? So basically Mizkif has done this stuff, in some cases publicly, and he's just been fucking swept for by these people. This is fucking nuts, bro. Why has this not come up before? Oh, here we go. We've got the edit. This is the edit of the situation. Mizkif rages over Emiru's Steam viewership. Oh, also there's this clip here or this stream here.
Okay, that's wonderful.
Where it shows how it
But
ends.
how do I make money off depressed people?
What is wrong with these bitches these days? Can't even take a punch or any form of abuse. So fucking lame, bro.
Thank you, Mizkif, for the 333. He's just playing Ross. And he just... Just playing, looking at something.
I don't think anyone really even knows what.
Oh, here we go.
Everyone's doing their own thing. Yeah, I feel like I don't think anyone really even knows what to really do.
He looks pretty angry, yeah.
So. It seems confusing. I'm also tired as fuck. Hey. What's Nick? What is Nick doing? No, I hardly slept last night. It's why I seem tired today. I just couldn't sleep. I don't know how to make someone else king. I could just get off and go live when I take a nap or something. Because I'm honestly fucking tired, chat. I'll be honest. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah, I've got the... Is this in the edit? I didn't realise.
No, I can come back. I'm just tired.
Guys, you know, obviously there's a lot of stuff getting thrown my way. We're actually the Reddit edit. Yeah, I'll
come
got
back.
the Reddit edit here.
Alright, chat. I'll see you guys later. I will see you guys probably tonight, if not tomorrow. I might just do a long stream tonight, because, I mean, I don't have anything to do tomorrow, so I might just wake up at, like, 11 and do it. I just need a nap. I'm fucking zooted out of my mind. Alright, bye, chat.
Okay. And then we've got this edit. Okay, guys. Okay, I've got it. Let's have a look at this. Here we go. This is the edit. This is the one.
Today is the Rust server. Chat, I'm excited. We got some stuff, dude. We're gonna start talking to people again. We're gonna hang out a little bit.
Got raw pork.
I'll fucking take it.
Would you like some raw pork?
Yeah, I'll fucking take raw pork. Hell yeah.
Enjoy.
So I thought, why not build a house up here?
So, yeah, you can see, you can't see because it's all blocked and it's a bit of a pain to move it, but basically, Mizkif's got 22,000 viewers, Emiru's got 19,000 viewers, so our viewership is increasing, basically.
I can pay rent in your,
I'll just
your house.
minimize it.
Okay, let's do it. Yep.
Oh, there we go, that's fine.
Wait, check this out. Come here.
Ooh.
Not
Like,
bad,
that's
huh?
the house?
Uh-oh. Oh my god, dude.
Wait, our houses literally look exactly the same.
Yep.
He's actually bothered by this. He was having fun until then, wasn't he? Oh, dude.
Hello?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he's upset because the woman's got more.
I want to see Emmy. I can't believe you guys made separate houses.
Biggest sweats, you retards.
They will come after you guys.
They're the biggest
We
sweats.
can stop them early.
Yeah, let's go. Let's do it, dude. We'll join the resistance. You're spelling it wrong? Yeah, my bad.
just see her viewership increasing.
No, I hardly slept last night.
No, is he
That's why I seem
rated?
tired today.
No.
I'm honestly fucking tired, chat. I'll be honest. I'm pretty tired. I'm just tired. Alright, chat. I'll see you guys later. I will see you guys probably tonight, if not tomorrow. I just need a nap. I'm fucking zooted out of my mind.
What does unofficial Mizraid mean?
Guys,
Oh, he did?
Listen, why are we all acting like we haven't murdered? Like we haven't pillaged?
door slam.
Like we haven't had to do what we had to do to make it here where we she had a one-hit advantage. She was coming after me. I had to attack back.
What the fuck is this?
What are you? Was that a test?
You said.
Well, I have some cloth in my house.
Another slam.
Let me check my body real quick. Did anyone loot me?
Yeah. Go to the restroom real quick. I'll
There
be right
you go.
back. Yeah, she's trapped now.
The flinch dude.
Sick. Okay, sick. Okay, I'm stuck in here. Okay, sick.
I'm gonna make some steps.
Hello, sorry.
20 minutes later, she comes back. Okay.
Hello. Avaragi, thanks for the sub. But alright, yeah, I'm gonna log out for now, but I'll probably come back later. And if not today, then tomorrow my normal time, so.
Okay. Okay, dude, I gotta be honest with you. Everything I'm seeing, unfortunately for Mizkif, all of this evidence that I'm seeing is just adding further weight to Emiru's claims. I mean, fucking hell, dude. I mean, obviously, you know, there's still an angle you could take of hearing what Mizkif has got to say about some of these claims. But at the very least, I think you can discern from that Mizkif was pissed off. The door that was probably very likely the door slamming, and there was 20 minutes she had to go off stream. Probably discern from that yes, it was likely to talk to Mizkif. Or Rape Kif, as we're now calling him, apparently. It's just so wild that he got covered for. This is the thing for me. I'm like, yeah, this stuff looks really bad. But surely Emiru spoke to her other streamer friends about this. How was this not fucking spoken about sooner? And Mizkif was defended at times through this stuff happening too. Jesus Christ, bro, this is insane.
That I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just checking my makeup. So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream. Do my best.
Dude, bro. Full train wrecks vindication on this one as well. There's been doubters, particularly after the OTK investigation came out and Mizkif was found clear on all charges. But yeah, it does seem like... I mean, I always thought there was validity to the Mizkif Adriana Lee stuff anyway. And now it seems like there's been this sweeping for Mizkif's abusive behaviours for seemingly years, from the looks of it. Jesus.
To just like, you know, carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him.
I tried to tell you.
And during that time, I obviously was like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live to say this so that, you know, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that.
I don't think she's lying, no. The absolute most I would say is that there could be things she's saying that are obviously slanted towards her side of things. But I don't think she's lying, and I think there's already things that I'm seeing just on clicking a few links that seem to back up the broad thrust of what she's saying about his behaviour.
All you had to do was play ball. We could have had a good thing. We would have even allowed you to pick your favourite cock to join OTC with you.
Thank you, Mizkif, for the 333.
Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started. He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom.
That one clip is so damaging for Mizkif. Because on stream, he's willing to throw items at Maya, right? What is he doing off stream? If he knows that she's on that panel, he must know she's on that panel, and he's still doing it. Do you think he's roided up? Is that what it is? He's roided the fuck out or something.
On the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die. Like threatening. Oh
my god, yeah, that's exactly what Maya claimed as well, which reading between the lines has got to be about Mizkif. So, the same shit. It's the same shit again. Alleged, I guess you should say. But like, that does seem to line up with what Maya was saying.
Off depressed people.
She really is Lenny, isn't she?
Thank you for the $10, Smoky Guru. The only possible other explanation for that is Emiru and Maya are comparing notes and coming up with the same story or something like that. But that is just silly. I think, that seems quite unbelievable to me, especially with other clips demonstrating this behavior. Bro, Mizkif is fucked here, man. Mizkif is totally fucking raped on this. Like, there's clips that are backing up claims that she's making. It's lining up with the story of other previous partners.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Just imagine it. You Techie and Asman on the Bangers and Mash podcast.
Thank you for the 333. Thank you. And the thing is just to be clear, because I saw a stupid comment in Twitch chat that I chose to ignore. But I've got no, long past are the days of the one true rape meme and all the stuff that happened in 2022. I've got no skin in the game. Whether Mizkif raped or not, it literally doesn't fucking matter to me. If anything, it could be quite good sometimes to have a contradictory perspective on claims like this. Like the Super Mega thing is a great example of that, right? So I've got no desire to just instantaneously claim and say that Mizkif is without question guilty of anything. But it just seems to be stacking up in that direction.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
At Spenciejo became a member.
Do you know what I mean?
At Spenciejo celebrates
I'd love to defend
15 months
Mizkif.
of membership. It's one thing for Maya not to make public allegations against Miz, but not doing anything to warn others privately is pretty poor form. Emo.
Thank you for the membership. Well, I wouldn't say I always side with the man, but I've got a tendency in past dramas of this nature to give ground to the idea that the woman could be embellishing, misrepresenting, potentially even lying about things. But I just don't really see that here. I don't see what the angle is to pick apart what Emiru is claiming when you've got some evidence that backs up some of the things that she's saying about him. Do you know what I mean? But thank you for the membership. Thank you. Thank you. And for me, the idea that Mizkif has been defended all these years, when all of this has presumably been floating around in the background. I mean, what the fuck, dude? It's fucking Hollywood-esque sweeping of bad behavior, I think.
To kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy does video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it. Then at home,
I mean, listen, I know very well that Mizkif is not shy about pulling the KYS trigger if he wants to, so that part is particularly believable.
other things would happen, like I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like I was kind of stuck in a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything. And this is still before I moved out. There was a time
Why didn't you break up with him? I mean, you know, you could obviously debate and query the exact point of it. But I mean, she did, right? Like, at some point she did decide to leave. Like, this is years ago that happened too. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I can't figure out the timeline exactly. Like, how long was she with him for? Like, how long before this behavior started, before she split up with him? And also, there is the dynamic that is true. It gets misrepresented and used to excuse, you know, very, very unbelievable behavior from a woman, right? That does happen. But there is a dynamic where abused people don't want to leave.
How do I make
you know?
money off depressed people?
Don't lie. You treat Queeman like this.
Thank you for the super chat. True. Thank you for the super chat.
It was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And
it's even more complicated in this situation because normally it's like a private relationship where you could feasibly leave, whereas here it's like a very public, you know, dynamic. Not a relationship because that was secret, although people knew. But obviously, if you move, that's going to start to call it like, what the hell's going? Do you know what I mean? So it probably isn't as simple as just like moving out. Like, there's consideration of how you do it because you've got this very public, professional relationship together too. I think.
Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually, he figured out where I was going, and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he did it, and I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner, and he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it. And they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better.
So yeah, are we saying Esfan is another person that knew about this?
But how do I make money off depressed people?
At Magex
Thank you for the membership.
451 became a member. At Magex 451 celebrates 40 months of membership. _Chud felted.
Because Mizkif is still in the good graces of all of the big streamers, right? Like, he goes to the streamer awards and stuff, right? I'm pretty sure. So he's still like well within the Twitch aristocracy and isn't like being ousted or sidelined or anything. God, it's just so wild that people knew this was going on and didn't make any effort, especially when you had the perfect excuse after the 2022 shit went down. Mental, really.
Basically.
Yeah, dude, Ludwig literally just apologized to him the other day for making a video about him doing the Adriana Lee stuff. Fucking hell.
Honestly, don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure.
All this he knew people. Shut the fuck up. You don't know how social relationships work. I mean, like, that can be a thing if it's more minor. But someone being an abusive partner is more egregious, no? Like, I can understand if it's like looking the other way on some minor shit, like some little thing or whatever. But this is like a pretty this is like a pretty big fucking deal, bro. Like, this guy sounds like an abusive wretch, abusive towards Maya, abusive towards Emiru. And he's still allowed in the good graces of all of these big streamers. Like, you know, you would expect at least some people. I mean, to be fair to Asmongold, it seems like he started to take a stand against it at some point and was speaking out about his behavior in coded ways, right? There's clips going back a while now where Asmongold was talking about this stuff. So you would have thought maybe more people might be a bit more like, I don't fuck with Mizkif. I can't talk about it, but I don't want to I don't want to, you know, hang about with him anymore or something. Or, you know, I don't like the fact he goes to the streamer awards or something like that. Yeah, dude, they threw Rich Campbell under the bus for less. Exactly, bro. Exactly.
Sure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar and was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car and grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there and never took him back to that house.
Okay, that's
and then,
wonderful.
I think,
But
like,
how do
within
I
several
make
days after
money
that was
off
when
depressed people?
I finally moved out. It was on very
It's
short.
all just a prank. He don't mean it. Look at those effeminate puppy dog guys Miss has. He's innocent.
Okay. Thank you for the super chat.
Short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but
okay, that's
there was a
wonderful.
time when I
But
just
how do
knew.
I
called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day.
Thank you for the super chat. Exactly.
Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally because, like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like
sacrificed in Mia Malkova's cavernous blacked vagina. You guys are sick.
Eventually, like, things would be fine, at least publicly, like for stream reasons that, you know, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, you know, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do, and I felt like if I, you know, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would attack me. I was yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but, yeah, after I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change, and, like, even talk to other people and, like, kind of present, like, oh, I want to change, I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, you know? There was a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, honestly, it doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense.
Okay, that's wonderful.
But I mean, obviously, hence he doing the stream, that was not the end of it.
Desperate Decamillionaire couldn't hire a moving company to escape this treacherous scum. Guys, don't we all feel so bad?
Thank you for the $5. I mean, I don't really care about the idea of like feeling bad on behalf of Emiru. I'm sure there's other people that are going to, you know, that are going to be able to do the, oh my God, poor Emiru shtick. I don't really care about that. I just care about the claims, the validity, the evidence, whatever. And based on what I'm seeing, yeah, it does seem like Mizkif is abusive. I think that much is, I'm pretty confident to state, yeah. Obviously, the sexual assault thing we'll get to. But, yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure there's more clips we're going to look at as well, which further back this up, that show like a pattern of behavior with other people. And obviously, you've got Maya Higa giving some validity too. Like, yeah, it's pretty, not looking good for Mizkif, let's put it that way.
A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure. He came to my house and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to start to try to distance myself from him. He, so yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot.
Uh-oh.
And then, suddenly...
Rape Kif! Rape
He
Kif!
tried to climb on top of me and aggressively...
Oh no, Rape Kif!
The only thing
now we're getting to the bottom of this.
Or surprising about this is the JF Gary Epi level of sweeping. It's like an Epstein level, cone of silence around this.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Thank you.
My face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And, instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without, checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, you know, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like, I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes sense. Yeah, I felt like I'd...
I think it's one of those where I'd want to hear the other side before really deciding what I think about that. On its face, obviously, it sounds horrendous. Like, you got this sobbing woman, and he's just thinking about trying to make a move with her. But, yeah. I'd want to see what Mizkif says and what his side of it is.
Cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also, I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that,
As she's described it, sure, that could potentially be assault, right? But, you know, like, I know there's a lot of motivation to just say that everything that is being said about Mizkif is true, but none of us were there. None of us were there. We don't know the actual reality of what happened, and the best you can do is piece together events from both sides and try and come to a reasonable understanding of what possibly happened there, you know? The Rape Kif name is very funny, and I'm happy to support it as a meme, definitely. But in terms of, is it like 100% reality? Well, I'm not 100% on that. We'll see what he says about it and kind of go from there, I guess. But, you know, it sounds horrendous, obviously. A crying woman, and you're desperately trying to just fucking get with her, you know, seemingly without any indication that that's wanted, you know?
things would get better, and that, you know, he would improve.
But none of us were there, Sweep. How is that a sweep? What is this? What is sweeping about saying none of us were there? That is just true. That's the point of he said, she said. We're not able to discern the reality of what happened, and there's no evidence of it. So the best you can do is listen to both sides and come to a reasonable view on what happened.
And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it because they were concerned. He would say tell them that I never hit you, make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time,
nobody is ever there. That's okay, you fucking moron. Okay. What is wrong with me saying I want to hear his side and come to a reasonable view on what maybe happened there? Why is it that I'm supposed to just accept her version of events without question? Have you ever watched me do a rape review before? Are you fucking serious, dude? Oh yeah, let's just assume, let's just conclude on what happened on the basis of her word alone. I'm saying it sounds terrible. I'd want to hear his side. And then we can discern a likely situation of what happened off the back of both sides of the story. Fuck me.
This was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would
And the difference is, there's other pieces of evidence that I've seen already that back up and then weight to the idea that he was abusive with Emiru. Like, the chucking of the paper bag is pretty fucking telling, even though it's only a paper bag, it's pretty telling of a sort of behaviour. So I'm willing to accept more so the idea that he was chucking other things too, okay? But nothing presented so far backs up the idea that he has got a tendency to do that. So that is an unknown until I get more information to see what I think about it. God, you people are so pathetic and desperate just to conclude. It's so fucking annoying, dude. Maybe his side isn't very convincing and I'm like, well, fuck, it sounds like he did do that then. Maybe he presents something or shows something. Like, you could show messages after the incident that paint a different picture of it. Maybe we see that. I don't know yet. I've not seen any of it. I'm just collecting all the information that I can and then seeing what I think about it.
In the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away.
Wonderful.
But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And
I was a prosecutor that helped with the docket at times. It is painfully common for victims to stay with their stat that victims make 7 attempts to leave before finally leaving is true.
Thank you for the $10. Thank you.
I actually wanted to show some of those messages.
Here we go. Let's have a look at these
because obviously
messages.
a lot of these things, yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying.
I'll read them all, don't worry. Okay. But how do I, so Emiru says, how do I know it's not just someone who doesn't follow LOL? Yes, I'm still wanting to be DPS, but for dungeons I have to tank, yeah. Mizkif says, you really don't, like you don't. Emiru says, how can I not tank in dungeons? Mizkif says, you straight up don't have to, because you're a DPS. Emiru says, my group didn't have other warriors. Mizkif says, yeah, I know where this is going, and I'm not dealing with it. I asked for a boundary, and it's always crossed. You don't know boundaries. Okay. How can I not tank as a warrior in dungeons? Because you aren't a tank. When I said I don't want to be a tank, I meant I don't want to tank in raid, which is still true. I don't know what I'm doing.
But how do I make money off depressed people?
A completely missed opportunity for a drama-filled story of he graped her but then forced her to get rid of the grapes emoji, baby emoji.
Okay. Thank you for the 333. Thank you. Relates. Anthologist with 1,000 kicks. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Do we do an Asian voice for Emmy so we know who's who? Well, like, dude, I can't do that. Listen, I'm not trying to get banned over here, okay? When I said I don't want to be tank, I meant I don't want to tank in raid, which is true, because I know what I'm doing. You do not need to tank in dungeons, so now I'm going to get so much shit non-stop. Don't ever play great. Emmy is better. Emmy this. I can't have anything Emmy. Okay, so this just paints a picture of this, you know, very self-conscious mentality of being bothered about people, you know, liking what Emiru is doing more than what he's doing or something.
And I am planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know...
Emmy is better. Emmy, this can't have anything. Emmy, I can't have anything, Emmy. You just take. I don't understand what you want me to do. Not tank, just that simple. What the fuck does that mean? You already played warrior when I told you we're going to get compared. Don't pull. I'm going to pull aggro because I'm a warrior. No, you're not. Another warrior can tank.
You want to read this later? That's fine, I guess.
Very resentful. Yeah.
And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and
like,
see...
obviously, you know, this is hardly the worst aspect of his behavior in all this, but it does paint a compelling picture of very self-conscious... Well, no, it's not. Okay. So when you say, like, it's nothing, right? Obviously, this is not, like, a significant strand of the abuse. But it, I mean, maybe there's more to come. But it just paints this image of him being very self-conscious and bothered about the fact that she's getting, like, positive attention, right? Insecurity. He's very insecure. Very insecure. Very pathetic. There were no warriors asking to join. Why it's bad for me to pull dungeons? Because I'm now going to get compared non-stop. Because now people are going to say you're better. Because I told you this when you first told me you wanted to play warrior, and it's already happening, and you just don't care about this stuff ever. There's no boundaries with you.
Trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon.
This is hardly meaningful, and it does not paint a compelling picture of anything. But a loser. And I'm not about to believe any significant strand of abuse because he's a loser. Another one. Yeah, so... You've got to be quite specific. It's like, yeah, it definitely shows he's insecure, but you can't use that to validate the idea that he definitely assaulted Emiru, right? Like, that doesn't really follow. I think what this would validate is the stuff about the Rust thing and him being bothered by the viewership. I think it would back that up, for example. But yeah, don't dude me. I asked for one thing. Don't be a tank, and now you're tanking. What can I do? What the fuck am I supposed to do? Don't tank. Yep, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate.
Trying to just play the fucking game.
The criticism that you're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. I mean, yeah, this is just clear cut, isn't it? The kind of person that says stuff like this obviously is going to be bothered about Emiru getting more viewership. The comparison says nobody will be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank, and you didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. Dude, I'm trying to remember. What was the nature of the messages that got swept from LSF back in the day? Because if the thing that got swept, I vaguely remember it being something that was not just showing they're in a relationship, but there was some sort of negative dynamic there, if I remember correctly. Like... Did LSF have a hand in sweeping this abusive behavior because they got rid of those messages? It was about what she was wearing. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, dude. Bro. Not looking good, is it? Not looking good.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Miz is a wretched, loser fuckboy. Regardless of the all know he's too much of a weak coward to follow through with the grapes emoji. Same with KMS stuff.
Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. Now we're same class, same thing, tanks. Dude, don't dude me. Ask for one thing. Okay. We just saw this.
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, that you're worse than Emmys. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon.
Dude, yeah. It's going to be out for Mizkif and public perception because she's known for being this innocent little girl. Well, the thing is, on optics, he's raped, and on substance, largely he's raped as well. I think that this is, you know, especially all these clips and stuff. But then what about all these people that swept? What about them? Are they going to get fucking criticised for, You know, or is there going to be a conversation or discourse about the fact that seemingly people knew about this and Mizkif was still in the good graces of these streamers for years? You know, it's like, yeah, Mizkif is an abusive piece of shit. Right, great. So he's fucking ousted or whatever. What about the people that helped facilitate and allowed this to occur for years?
It was like Silverpine. Like, it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest. Like, so, yeah. Yeah, yeah, you can,
A lot of people didn't know. Bro, Cutie Cinderella was sat there on a show with Maya, and Maya was talking about, seemingly, from what I can gather, it's not explicit, reading between the lines, seemed to be talking about Mizkif. So Cutie Cinderella must have known more because they would speak, like they had a podcast together. They would have spoken behind the scenes. And surely Cutie would have known the full extent of this. And the thing is, it's not to say that you come out publicly with an allegation, right? That's not what I'm saying. You don't necessarily tell someone else's story. Where was the, I don't fuck with Mizkif anymore. I can't speak about it. I don't want to cause a drama. But, yeah. But, you know, where was all that? Do you know what I mean? Like, unless I'm mistaken, I'm fairly certain that he was like going to, or at least would have been invited to these streamer events and shit like that, you know? That's pretty crazy, no?
read that later, I suppose, if,
Mizkif kind of sucks. Like some sort of gesture
like I
towards
said before,
this.
Hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool.
Like, dude, literally just the other day, bro, Ludwig was apologizing to Mizkif just recently, a couple of days ago, for his video. Ludwig, Cutie Cinderella's partner, who undoubtedly would have known about this, unquestionably would have known about this, without doubt would have known about this. What, Cutie Cinderella didn't say to Ludwig, oh, fucking hell, Maya was telling me all about this crazy shit that Mizkif used to do. So, again, I'm not saying that Ludwig needs to come out and go, by the way, Mizkif is an abusive piece of shit. But why is he putting out a statement apologizing to Mizkif for a video? You just wouldn't do that, would you? You just wouldn't bother doing that. Because you'd be like, well, even if you thought it wasn't 100% proven that he did the Adriana Lee stuff, which it was never 100% proven, there was evidence that it happened, but whatever. You would just not do that because you'd be like, well, I know other stuff behind the scenes about this guy that I'm never going to fucking apologize for that because I know he's an abusive fucker. You know? I know what he did with Maya. At least that.
And I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere, but I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence, like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back. That was like, started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who, I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who, to this day, has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to. And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me,
how do I make
which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that.
TK. Not quite as bad for a not quite as big an organization as the BBC. I want to snark Emiru, but Miz is too wretched.
Thank you for the super chat.
And was like, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial or that, you know, we could be fine with each other. So I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships. And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year.
Wonderful. But how do I make
It's been 10
money
months.
off depressed people?
But
Now that this queen
you
has
think
a
that's
real man, she will never have to deal with this again.
Shelbo99, thank you for the 333.
it's the end. It is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year. It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And I'm just gonna show those.
Okay. So she obviously doesn't want to talk, and he's trying
And at
to...
first, it started simple.
I couldn't see that one. Sorry. Let's read this quickly. Okay. Oh, dude, it went really small very quickly. Let's go back a few frames. Is it going back? Okay, I'll just... Hey, just to make sure, you don't have recordings of me, right? I'm getting harassed that you do, and I'm assuming it's nothing. Do you know why I'm removed from everything? Why I'm kicked from OTK? Nobody's answering my calls, and I don't want to bother you, but I'm panicking. I don't understand what's happening. Can we please communicate so I don't feel isolated and hated by my own org? Jesus.
And at first, it started simple. Be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things.
I just want to be okay with each other and feel with our streams and lives we shouldn't have this feeling. I came home and feel terrible. It feels so odd that I cannot talk to you or anyone or just know what's happening. Can you please respond? I understand and I'll just leave you alone, but I really would appreciate it if we can talk. I won't text you again after this. I really, really want to talk if possible.
Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
Please respond. I know you don't want to hear from me, but message, I still care about you. If you need to talk, I'm here. I'm so sorry shit like this happened. I'll be up all night if you need to talk. Can we please talk, Emmy? I'm so sorry for what I said. Can we talk tomorrow? Jesus. Hey, I found out you weren't invited to the party. I know you wouldn't want to go, but I didn't do invites. You were invited, of course, and I hope you're doing okay, and one day we can talk. Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. I'm sorry for like the past few months. I'm so sorry for so much that happened. I need this time to be alone, but I really love you so much. I just needed to know what being alone, and I learned I need you. I don't want to be without you. I regret so much the hurt that I hurt you, and I left, but I know I needed it. Okay. Jesus. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you and only you. I've been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy, and if you take me back, I want us to be in a real relationship. I want us to go on dates, go live together, plan our lives. Okay, it's just more of the same, really. Jesus.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
Yeah, I think at some point, if it's not, like, you know, this is clearly not reciprocated, right? Can you please answer my phone? Jesus. Fucking hell, dude. Fuck me. Just totally one-sided. No responses. No responses. That is insane.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And, it's just kind of a funny side note, I guess.
Okay,
I would
that's
like to
wonderful.
highlight this
But
message.
how do I make money off depressed people?
If this was extra,
Because,
people would be cheering Mizkif on for avenging her parents on her. Alas, Emiru isn't that awful.
Oh yeah, that was someone confused the two of them, didn't they? Thank you for the super chat. So now apparently some of this is potentially AI gen. Wow, 58% AI generated.
Doesn't really matter, but I ran it through the ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting. But yeah. Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick.
Yeah, you don't have any videos or like recordings of me is quite telling, isn't it? Like, I think that demonstrates he's got some concern that maybe she's got some sort of like evidence against him or something like that.
I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication, but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just
Okay, that's wonderful.
let him have his space.
But
I'll
how
have
do
my
I
space.
make
You know, it's not a big
money
deal.
off
We're
depressed
adults,
people?
right?
Mrs. X Emiru, she Chinese. She play trick. She try to make Miz look like prick. But not today, chat. Mizkif no look like prick today. Not
Okay.
anymore.
Thank you for the $5. Once again, YouTube Auto Mod is asleep at the wheel. Crazy stuff.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here, let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay. So they as a group went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me. And I did feel like, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs, I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, give the benefit of the doubt, like, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs, and he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing. And then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night. So I was like, wow, okay, that's good to know, I guess.
I mean, you know, the reality is you can't go to like parties together and stuff. That, you know, particularly if this guy is persistently trying to get in touch with you and you're not interested in talking, you know? That seems like a recipe for fucking disaster. But that does sound pretty deranged that he was trying to hunt her down upstairs or something. I mean, what the fuck?
The next story that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Senna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier. Because that was obviously... Hold on, let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop.
You think Rape Kiff orchestrated a TwitchCon essay? Yes, exactly what happened. He paid a man to do it.
Where was I? Yeah, so, yeah, it happened March 3rd of this year. A lot of people were talking about how me, Ray, and Senna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are gonna talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Senna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself. And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird, it puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it. He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as, like, the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie.
You know, yeah, it's weird to do that. Weird to you know, speak on that, I guess. I mean, some of this stuff is just, you know, everything about everything in this situation. There's obviously stuff here which is more substantive and more of interest to me, at least. But I mean, this is just like a shitty thing to do, I guess. There's obviously worse claims here, and some of which I think got some good evidence to back up.
Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Still very scary, but why are you acting like if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Senna stuff.
Oh yeah, the grooming allegation against the Emiru we'll obviously talk about when it comes up later. But I'm pretty sure I spoke about that before. I can't remember what I concluded off the back of it though.
So, I was obviously...
I think if I recall correctly, it was this idea that the person that was so-called groomed was talking about someone else. But I think looking over it, I do think that I had some suspicions. That's all I can remember, though.
King, like, I just had this horrible thing happened to me the night before. It was like huge, like public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm like crying.
Oh, that was it. Yeah. The person that was making the allegation originally, I think, switched up and acted like it wasn't about Emiru or something.
Senna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm like panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Senna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah. Anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna.
Sorry, I got distracted. Sorry, guys. Sorry.
Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah. Anyway, just a little note. I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened a couple of months into me being no contact with him. And yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like, stop, like, you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips. After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting and calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him. And, I mean, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things.
Dude.
Almost every time that I
React
did live
more.
this year.
What is there to react to here? There's not really much, there's not really much to react to. It's just, I don't know. That sounds deranged, sure. But I don't know, bro. She's just telling a bunch. It feels like at this point in the allegation, we're now at the point where she is just kind of like throwing in everything else, right? Or this is like miscellaneous issues that she's throwing in there, Like, watching the stream, hate watching your ex's stream is deranged, but also it's not really as consequential as the other stuff she spoke about earlier,
And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. Jesus. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that. And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you can see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if like, I mean, people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even, I believe, ChatGPT. Not that it really matters, it's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly. I think because about 2 months ago was when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers.
So obviously now we're back around to the point at the start, and obviously we're going to look at Mizkif's response. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what evidence he's got of the mistreatment of the rabbits.
Who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, if Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her. Whatever that means. And within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, hey, worried about her, hope she's okay. You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And,
yeah, I mean...
yeah,
that seems quite on the nose, doesn't it? The idea would go up and say it as explicitly as that. So, I don't know about that, but I can definitely see some string pulling.
How do I make
type
money
stuff
off depressed
potentially
people?
occurring.
He was trying to self-insert because he couldn't insert himself. He tried to bounce back in Japan multiple times, but he should have gone to Thailand.
Indeed. Thank you for the super chats.
That was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So,
Wait.
So, I always tried to keep things private.
Wait, hang on a sec. So, are we saying that Emiru helped sweep Mizkif's reputation? I mean, there's a lot of that happened, it seems, in the Twitch aristocracy.
Always tried to make things better. Had hope that things would get better. You know.
Oh, she stood up for him. Right, okay. I forgot about that. She supported his character for the Adriana Lee stuff. Oof. Oof. Getting some Tectone vibes from that one.
Oh, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment. And for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already. As I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information. I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't, but I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now, and yeah, that's
hell, dude, LSF is fucking insane.
That's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse, sexual assault, and stalking, and being threatened on if, you know, I ever talked about it. And this whole time, it's been kind of hidden in plain sight away from hundreds of thousands of people. And, yeah. I know that me saying all of this...
It's just so wild that the idea that people who knew about this, who were still willing to knock about with Mizkif, presumably because it was beneficial to their channels, there's no kind of comments on that. It's just nuts to me. Well, there will be comments. People will talk about it. But it's like, this is like classic Hollywood tier shit, where you've got, you know, someone that is of value, that is doing bad things, and it gets kind of just, you know, sideswept, ignored, whatever.
Probably isn't going to make
yeah,
him
exactly.
or what's left of his community leave me alone. But yo, sorry, voice crack. I know talking about this probably won't make him or, sorry, probably won't make him or what remains of his community leave me alone. But I'm at least glad that people will be aware of all of this now, and I won't have to feel like I'm hiding a terrible dark secret anymore. And it's all out there now. And I also want to make it clear that not everyone that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of the things that were happening.
Oh, here we go, here we go.
And a lot of streamers didn't really know anything at all, but I mean, like I said before, people aren't stupid. I think it's pretty clear that a lot of people knew that things were happening, and like I said, you have to remember, it's not just me. A lot of people have told me that they have their own, you know, grievances with him. But for the people who did know about this, thank you for being there for me through all of this and supporting me and cheering me on. And there were a lot of people as well who, even though they didn't know anything, without asking any questions, they still were very kind and supportive, and I will always remember that for the rest of my life. I also want to say, just so people know, that I'm not just trying to, like, put this out there and then, you know, I am already in the process of filing a restraining order on him in both Texas and California.
Okay, so there's the legal stuff, somewhat at least.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit. It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And, yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it, and I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore. It's out there. And, yeah. I guess that's, pretty much it. Definitely not how I would have liked to spend my Saturday. I would have loved to, go to karaoke with my friends. Or something like that instead. A lot of people like karaoke. Right, guys?
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I think that's
Jesus.
it. I'm probably gonna take some time off. I'm not sure. Like, I genuinely have no idea what the response to this all is gonna be like. I really just wanna, like I said, do my best to move on from this, because I've already been doing that for a year. Like I said, I feel like that's pretty clear. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for today. I asked my editor if he would put this on YouTube for if you guys want to look at, you know, any of the things that I shared today. But like I said, all of the streams that I referred to today are public. You can easily find them. And all the people that I mentioned today gave me permission to mention them. Except I think I mentioned Mr. Beast Oops, but I mean, he's not involved. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that I would be doing this stream, so it feels really weird to have done it, and it's over now.
Okay. Right.
Yeah, well
let's
now you
get
guys
to
know everything. And all the
his response.
things I've been holding in for the past couple years. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. hopefully I'll be able to keep giving updates on the TwitchCon stuff, but I'm hoping to put this other chapter behind me. And like I said, I don't know what's
Okay,
gonna happen.
that's wonderful. But how do I make money
I feel
off depressed people?
very confident that this was the right thing to do, and
restraining orders in 2 states
I don't
2
regret any of
months
it.
after he stopped contacting me
Thank you
for 3
guys.
years straight. Okay, man.
I'm gonna go spend time with my
Very
friends.
Okay, that's wonderful.
And
But
Thank
how
you
do
for
I
super
make
hopefully I
chats.
will
off
see you guys all very
depressed
soon.
Much bigger story here is Twitch's top streamers
Thank
knew
you for
this
everything.
guy was unsure and let him work with streamers not in the know and have access to his fans.
Yep.
Thank you. I was talking about that. Yeah. I was talking about that.
See you guys when I see you. Goodbye.
Dude, I just got here, but Jesus, your chatters are so deranged. When did it get so bad? Right. I know, right? It's an absolute hive of anti-Asian and anti-woman insanity. Okay, guys. So there we go. My takes on that. I believe the allegations of abuse are true. I think there's evidence I've seen, and just scratching the surface, there seems to be behavior that backs up the claim she was making about his abusive behavior. Undecided on the essay claim. Need to hear his side to really kind of figure out what his response to that is and try and give a rough idea of what that looks like, because it is obviously going to be he said, she said. Yeah. And it's I mean, optically he's raped, as it tends to be the case with these things. And on substance, I think he's also raped, at least on the abuse claims. So, yeah, let's hope he's got a good response. I mean, I'm seeing people saying the response isn't good, but I will have a look and see what I think about his response, first of all. But I do need to take a quick break in the meantime. Dude, where's his response? I had it a second ago.
Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money?
No, I don't think she's exaggerated a bad relationship. I think it's worse than a bad relationship.